Hi everybody, it's Jenn and Kanata. Today we are going to do some cooking and some jam. I'm going to make strawberry jam, just using the Certo recipe. Here's the box. That comes in the box. I bought strawberries yesterday. They were on sale for $1.99 a quart, and they were local strawberries. Yay! So, not the major ones that travel long distance. And my family really likes jam. So, that is what I'm going to make today, and I'm going to bring you along with me. So, here are the strawberries. I am just going to wash them. I just took off the greens off them, and I'm going to mash them up and see how many cups I have. This was 3 quarts. So, I'm taking the strawberries and mashing them. And pouring them in my big, huge measuring cup. I need 4.5 cups. Of strawberries. Might not need all of those that I washed. We're just below the 4-cup mark. So I'll do a little bit more. So that was 3 pounds of strawberries. And there we go. It's somewhere between this is the 4 line mark, and that's the 5 line mark up here. It's not quite even, but it needed 4.5 cups, and I still have some strawberries from this batch. So, it says to mix this and the pectin crystals in a saucepan, bring it to boil on a high heat, stir in the sugar, return to boil, cook for a minute, and then remove from heat and stir and skim 5 minutes to prevent fruit from floating to the surface. And then pour into the hot sterilized jars to about 1/4 inch from the rims and cover with the lids. Let stand at room temperature for 24 hours or until set. And there are the instructions I just read. But doesn't call for water bath canning. It's been a year since I made jams. I keep on forgetting I've been doing lots of pressure cooking and stuff, so it just says to put them in the sterilized jars, which I could put my jars in the oven for 10 minutes, my clean jars, or put them through the dishwasher. And just fill them, cover with the lids, and let stand for 24 hours until set. And they say that the jams are good on the shelf for a year. I've had jams for many years on the shelf. The jam just turns a darker color. You just have to make sure that the seals are good, and you're good. And they last, well, not necessarily forever in your fridge, but with homemade jams, I've not had them ever go moldy. And my family goes through waves of liking jam and having jam all the time to not wanting jam for weeks. So, and that's it. I know before last year I tried to double recipes, which I should have read here, do not double the recipes. And it didn't work, and I had to redo, kept on adding more pectin. I mean, it still tastes like jam, but didn't quite set as much as it normally does. You can instructions for no cooked jams, and cooked jellies. We're not big jelly people, sometimes grape jelly, but that's about it. So I will bring you on this journey. I put the strawberries in the pot with the package of Certo. I'm going to stir that. And bring this to a boil before I add my sugar. So the box of Certo says I don't have to water bath can it, just to set on a counter. I've done that before, but if you also look and Google strawberry jam recipes, a lot of them will say to water bath can it for 10 minutes. I think it's just an extra security measure, because the heat of the jars, because I see I have my jars already in the nice hot water. I'm going to have my lids in there as well. It just has to sit on the counter for 24 hours afterwards. So I'm going to do that. One less thing I have to do with my day, and I might get a lot more things done. So now it's boiling. I measured 7 cups of sugar. Yes, I know a lot of sugar, but that's what you need to make jam. You can look online for how much sugar substitute and that, but from what I've read is that it sometimes does not make the jam set. So, but there are some no sugar recipes and you just use more jam, more strawberries, and just not as sweet. So now, steamy, it's boiling, and there's lots of foam. This foam's not really bad. I'm going to skim a bit of it, and I'm going to put in a jar, and we'll just use that on toast. Now, it just doesn't look as nice. But you cook it for a minute until it kind of looks thick and sticks to your spoon. You can't really tell so much with this because it's red. But I'm going to take out my jars and put them on my towel. It's always a good idea not to put them straight onto your counter, especially if you have like marble or anything, because your counter is really, really cold and the jars are really, really hot, and they'll explode or they'll crack. So always put on a towel. See, now that I've turned off the stove, you can see the bit of foam. Actually, it's not too bad. Another trick for getting rid of some foam is putting a tiny bit of butter in there. It decreases the foam. Actually, this is not too bad. As other times, I might just jam it as is instead of removing the foam. So I used my jar lifter to get the jars out. There's my jars. That's my funnel. That is just permanently stained. I accidentally did something with really hot, I think it was either dishwasher or whatever, but it doesn't come off, it's just stained. It still works. I have another one somewhere too. I'm going to do one wide mouth jar for my house, because I know we'll use it, and then I'll have that wide mouth jar ready for my pickles next month. So I'm doing a big one for us and a big one for my in-laws, as they like my jam. And I'm going to do some small jars that I'm going to keep for teachers' gifts for Christmas and end of year. So I'll have to make another batch of this with the rest of my strawberries, but that is what my plan is to do with this. And if you can get strawberries on sale, this works out pretty cheap. So I paid $6 for my strawberries. Okay, this is Canadian funds too. $6 for my strawberries. My jars, I've bought them on sale or got them for free. But let's work out maybe $1 a jar max. Actually, more like 75 cents a jar. And I got my lids on sale for $1. I reuse the rings, so you don't have to buy the rings. But if you buy new jars, you got rings. And Certo is about $2.50. So $6 for strawberries, $2.50 for the Certo, so that's $8.50. $2 for sugar, so $10.50, and $11.50 for the new lids. And let's say this is going to make, well, if I did the small jars, it'd make, I think, 8 small jars, but it's not making 2 cups, 4, 6, 7, probably 8 cups. Actually, I should do that in a small jar. I'm going to move that, actually, because I don't think I'll have enough for a big jar. Oh, that's hot. There. Let's rewash that jar. That makes 8 cups of jam. So right now I'm making, using 6 jars. And I pay maximum 50 cents to 75 cents a jar. Most of them I get for free. So between $12, let's say, and $15, you've got gifts for 6 to 8 people. Not too bad. So the way I look at it, it's a couple of dollars. Can I buy jam at the store for cheaper on sale? Yes. Will it be as good? No, it won't. So that is how I justify jam. A, my family likes it. B, it's a nice homemade gift for people. And it's quite economical. Everybody seems to like homemade preserves. So my in-laws seem to have everything, so if I give them jam, they're happy. So you take a paper towel or cloth, wet it, and wipe, especially on the top of the lid and around where the ring goes, to make sure that there's a good seal and there's no food, especially on the top. This is how you, and also you check, well, you should have checked before putting the jam in that there was no cracks or dings in the jars, because that will prevent a good seal. I have my lids and rings in the hot water, and I will put them on. I actually have to debubble it. So take a skewer, chopstick, or the plastic knife thing that comes with your canning kit. I always seem to lose it. Every once in a while, usually near the end of the canning season, I'll find it, and I'll use it, and I'll misplace it. Because I tend to put things away, or I'm getting to a bit of canning, a whole bunch of things, and I get exhausted, and everything goes like in the dishwasher, and my kids put it away, so it might get thrown in with the other cutlery. So I took out the jar lids from there. I had the rings in there too. You don't need to put the rings in the hot water. I just do just to give it a good clean, because they are already clean, but they could be dusty from being in the basement or a garage and stuff. So you just put this on as finger tight, not too tight. And then we just let that sit for 24 hours and these lids will pop. It's everything's so hot. So there we have it. If the lids don't seal, I will just water bath can it, and then they'll seal, or I'll put them in the fridge. Enjoy. Super easy to make. You know all the ingredients. You don't have a whole bunch of weird preserves. You can do it without pectin, which pectin is quite expensive. Or you could buy pectin in bulk. And you could also do it without sugar too. There's other recipes online. So, enjoy.